Well, howdy do. Got something on my glasses here. I apologize. I should have checked that before I started. Well, howdy do, buckaroos. I am Tom the Beer Whisperer. How the heck are you? So, I just found this today, and I hadn't seen it before. It is the Summit Unchained Series, batch number 16, Herkulean Woods, I'm assuming is how it's pronounced. I'm going to read a touch from their 6-pack container here, if you can see that there. It says the profile is malty caramel backbone with pine resin, citrus hop flavor, and aroma. Color is amber. Yeah, that's probably amber. I was going to say copper, but okay, you want to call it amber? By golly, we'll call it amber. The malts are Harrington, Lacey, and caramel. The hops are Hercules. That's how to get the name, man. Hercules, Northern Brewer, Experimental 05256. The kettle additions are maple syrup and spruce tips. This is 8.2%, 77 IBUs. I was just intrigued by the whole process, so I got more to say, but let me take a drink here and we'll talk more. The aromas are very interesting. You certainly can smell the spruce tips. I'm not sure if I'm getting much maple right away, but I may have this a little colder than a beer like this ought to be. I'm getting a little maple, but I'm getting mostly the spruce tips, man. I shit you not. Well, yeah, you know, I wasn't smelling a lot of maple, but I sure can taste the maple. I shit you not. Yeah, I can. Can taste the spruce tips as well. Not that I've ever ate a spruce tip. I'm just making that assumption that that's what that flavor is. Yeah, so here's the thing. Cut and action. So here's the thing. I looked on their website to find out. I mean, the 6-pack gives me all the information I need. But I looked on their website to see what information they might have. And what I found is they had this actually listed as a past beer that's not coming back. So I was a little concerned at that point that maybe I just bought an old beer. But now I look at the bottle here, and the bottle says enjoy by March 4th of 2015. So I clearly have a good date on it. So I don't know if they just re-released this. Yeah, again, I just don't know. I don't know if it was been out before, they had some left in the warehouse and, you know, put it out there while it still had a good date. I mean, I just don't know. It's not what they list as their current Unchained Series selection. Let me say that. But I hadn't seen it in my neck of the woods before, and I was intrigued. I had an interesting brew earlier this year from Scratch Brewing that had all kinds of weird shit. And when I saw spruce tips, I thought, damn, I gotta try that. You know, maple's not an unusual ingredient to throw in beer, and I guess spruce tips is getting to where it's not to be, but it's not a typical ingredient. You know, craft brewers are just chucking just about every damn ass thing they can find in beer these days. I was wondering how prevalent the spruce tips would be, and they are apparent, but they're not big, they're not overwhelming. I mean, I've had certainly bigger, you know, IPAs that have, that use, you know, where just the hop additions add more pine-like resin than the spruce tips here. But I mean, it does do everything it says. You do get the pine resin, citrus hop. Yeah, I mean, you certainly get that. The addition of spruce tips here, I was, you know, my anticipation, I thought it was going to be huge and maybe overwhelming. But it's not. I mean, and that assessment isn't necessarily bad. It is balanced pretty well. But you can't tell they're in there. This is interesting. I mean, damn, 8.2%. Well, I would say it's probably a medium-bodied beer. I'd probably call it. I'm not going to go to medium to heavy, although some might see it that way. It does feel a little deceptive because I don't taste the alcohol that you might typically from an 8.2% beer. It's very interesting. I mean, I don't want to run long. I'm going to cut this short here, but I probably have a lot more I could say about this thing. It's very interesting. I am going to recommend. Yeah, I mean, I would buy this again if I saw it again. I'm going to recommend any of my Beer Geek fans beer geek friends buy this because it is just that interesting.